What's up everyone, this is the Fake Hacker. Today I'll be reviewing the iBlason, however you say it, rugged case for the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I've used this case for about a month now and so far so good. I wanted to make this review so others know about this case in case you're thinking about it. I'll start off first showing you the structure of the case and how it was built. Next I'll show you what the case looks like while on the MacBook Pro and how it fits. Finally I'll show you the test I ran to see if there's a difference in performance with CPU temperature when the case is on versus off the computer. Alright, let's start off with the structure of this laptop case. So the outside of this case is a hard plastic with a black trim going around the edges and a translucent plastic sheet here in the middle, which for some reason isn't properly attached in the corners. But it's not really a problem though, since once this case is attached to the computer, there is no difference really. The inside of the case has a black hard rubber lining the inside surface, as well as the edges here. We're going to see the hard plastic on the outside and the rubber inside lining the edges of this. The case is held to the MacBook using these clips here, as we can see, where there's two clips on each side of the case going all the way around. This is the top section, and the same applies for this bottom section as well, where it has the rubber on the inside surface, on the edges here, and the clips, which helps it attach. The clips have had no problems with any breakage whatsoever. There's no damage either when applying or I'm taking off the case. I've done that a few times and have had no problems with either one of that, for those who are concerned about that, as I was before. This case also allows the full use of all ports and air vents on the MacBook Pro, so that you won't have any vents or ports that are blocked using this, as we'll see in the next section, where we will talk about what the case looks like when attached to the MacBook Pro. This is what the case looks like when it's attached to the MacBook Pro. I didn't include me attaching it in this video because it requires two hands to do it easily for the first part, and also it's pretty straightforward to do. I don't want to waste your time watching me clip on a case that's pretty simple to do. The front section of the case, which is attached to the top portion, has a little lip on the front, so we're able to pick up the case and allow us to open it as we were before, since we're unable to use this little groove on the frame of the MacBook. So instead there's a little lip right there that allows us to do that instead. On the sides, we are still able to use all the ports. So here we have the two USB-C and the audio jack on this side. And on the other side, we have full use of the other two USB-C ports. Now, one thing to note about these ports is that since they are no longer flush due to the case, if you have one of those two USB-C docks that requires to be flush with this, you won't be able to use that. Instead, what I ended up getting was one of these docks instead that allowed me to plug just the one port in to the USB-C there, and still I'm going to use a dock for the MacBook Pro. We flip this onto the bottom. We're able to see these little rubber things attached to it that allow the case to grip whatever surface it's on, which so it doesn't slip or anything like that. And we can also see the air vents on here, so it has the air vents on both sides. Here's the one side, and it has the bridges here, which kind of impedes airflow, but not really, since it's pretty minimal compared to the opening still. And that's just to help the structure of this other side so it doesn't break off too easily. And here's the other side as well, so we're able to see that it is on both sides of that. And the MacBook Pro has one more air vent on the back here, which there is not a cutout for it, but the reason being for that is that the case ends right before the port for that airflow comes in, that vent is. So the clips clip into the vent here, and there's no need for having an opening since the case ends right before where that vent is. So there's not really any blocking of the airflow on this back port, and there's minimal blockage, if at all, from these little bridges on the back side. So the only really restrictions to performance of this case really is just that the case is covering aluminum frame, so if there's any heat dissipation through the aluminum frame, it might impede with that, and maybe those little bridges as well for the airflow of that. which we'll see on the next section, where I'll run some tests to see if there's any difference in performance and CPU temperature regarding having the case on the MacBook Pro or having it off for performance-wise. All right, since I don't want to do a screen share right now at the moment for the benchmarks, I'm just going to do it with my phone for now. So this is with the case on. Case is on both the top and the bottom. Here are the specs for my computer, and I'm going to go ahead and use Cinebench to be able to run this test to test the CPU. So this is what the GPU and CPU are starting out, and we're just going to see how high it goes with along the fan speed. The app is using Fanny, for those who are wondering about what app I'm using to be able to get that information. And I'll just get information from this as well as without the case, and we'll see if there's any difference between the CPU and GPU temperatures as well as the ending performance, which I'll show you as well. Alright, the test just completed. We ended at 9175 CPU or Celsius, and we got a score of 3330 from Cinebench. I'm running the test with the case on. Now I'll go ahead and see what it's like the case off, and if there's any difference between the two or not. This is the same test, Cinebench, and with no case on the top or on the bottom. This is the starting CPU and GPU temperatures, and same specs as before. And we'll go ahead and see if there's any difference. Once again. All right. And that is the end of the test with no case on. And the ending score we got for this one was 3,307 from Cinebench. Alright, so the two tests we ran shows that there's not too much of a difference between having a case on or off performance-wise. In fact, the MacBook actually did a little bit better with the case on. You got a score of 3,330 with the case on and 3,307 without the case on. And if you were looking at the CPU temperatures and GPU temperatures, they're also very similar with the case on or on. So there's not really too much of a difference between having the case on or on. So if you're worried about having any performance loss with the case on, there's no need to really. It's pretty much very similar. So with that, that concludes the review of the iBlason, however you say it, rugged case for the MacBook Pro 16-inch. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave those down below. The link for this case, as well as the dock I talked about for the USB-C to use with this case, will be in the descriptions. And those are going to be affiliate links, so if you want to click those, this channel will get a kickback from that to be able to support this new channel. And if you like what you watch, go ahead and like, subscribe. This channel will cover cybersecurity topics as well as any product reviews as well. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.